Onpassive is automatic internet millionaire. That's what Onpassive is. Onpassive is automatic internet millionaire. Why? Because Onpassive will automate the entire process from you. So there's the automatic, okay? It's internet based, okay? So there's the internet, right? And I believe that people can become millionaires within Onpassive. So automatic internet millionaire. So with Onpassive, right? If people understand network marketing, if they understand that, yes, you know, I need to go sell products, I need to refer others, okay? As long as I keep doing that, I'm gonna make money, okay? So Onpassive is saying, yes, we understand that. So we are going to sell products, except you don't have to sell it, right? But we're going to sell products though, right? The company's going to sell it, right? We're going to refer others, but guess what? You don't have to refer others because we're going to do it. So it's the same things are being done, the same actions. It's just instead of you doing it, the company says we're going to do it. So now the tables is turned. We don't work for the company Onpassive actually works for us. That is completely different. That is a game changer, right? And so that's what people have to understand, that yes, products are involved. They're digital products, right? And a lot of these products people are actually using. People are using, people buy domain names. They go to GoDaddy, right? So they're buying domain name. People want to use a bulk mailer. They want to send out, hundreds, even millions of emails at a time. Guess what? They use a company like Jmailer Pro. Okay, if they want autoresponders, there's GetResponse. So these are all products that are there in the marketplace. Onpassive is just taking it to another level. Onpassive is offering people an unlimited base based upon the products that they'll be utilizing. Onpassive is giving them something that's more cost effective. Onpassive is putting everything under one umbrella, right? So it's nothing new as far as, oh, I've never heard of that product before. I've never heard of that. No, taking what people are already using, which is brilliant because it means you have a ready available market. If people are using something already, it's not a huge transition to get them to switch from, say, using Zoom, for example, versus using OConnect, right? People are already familiar using webinar platforms, AnyMeeting, GoToWebinar, right? Now you present them something that's more cost effective, better features, right? People are going to jump to that. Not everyone, but we're certainly going to get a good percentage, right? And that's all that's needed. Yeah. Well, I've been in business for myself now for over 20 years, specifically on the internet for about 15, and for the last 10, internet marketing. Okay. And so specialize in email marketing. I use emails to present for me, to follow up for me, to close a sale for me. So, that's pretty much what I do. Background wise, education, university grad, math degree, but for me, my mind has always been as an entrepreneur. We've always had that entrepreneurial spirit, and for me, as life progressed and I decided to get into the internet marketing world, it's just been an eye-opener to really understand how one can make money while you're sleeping, and et cetera. Was for the company, I was sold, and so I locked arms with him and just went to work immediately. And I'm telling you, it's the best decision I've ever made. So for now, for the past year and a half or so, I would say that I've dropped everything, including what I was doing before, and just been focused on Onpassive. Simply because I believe that this is the last business anyone will ever need. So for me, it's always been about helping others. Anything I can do to help someone better themselves in life, I'm always for that. I'm always supporting that. So when I saw Onpassive back in 2018, it really just made perfect sense. What Mr. Ashmafar, was looking to do, it resonated with my spirit. And so I jumped in and just haven't looked back, just locked arm with him and the company and just continue to spread the word, as much as possible right around the globe. This is not some game or anything like that. It's a real business, and so we are in pre-launch. The company's building everything from scratch. We know back then, back in 2018, summer of 2018, there was nothing, it was just an idea, and that has blossomed now to over 600 120,000 individuals get involved in this company, that is massive. That I can't think of another company who's done that. So as I look at that, that just gives me the framework that I need to see that numbers wise, whatever income a person can imagine that is realistic, they can achieve it with Onpassive. There's no doubt about that. By the time we get to the actual hard launch, I suspect we're going to have about 1 million founders in, and then there'll be no more founders position. Okay, so then the company will go to work for all of us, and simply they're going to set up our domain name, a unique domain name for people, all the back-end stuff, the autoresponders, capture pages, and all of that. And then they will go and find the potential customers. And this is the beauty of artificial intelligence. This is the beauty of technology. You by yourself, you're not going to bring in 100 million customers. You're just not going to do it, right? But with technology, you certainly can. And that's what we see projected in the first 12 months, that yes, it's very realistic, very, very realistic to see 100 million customers in the first 12 months of this business. So can you imagine if you have 100,000 of those 100 million on your team? Can you imagine if you have 1 million customers on your team? So that's where the numbers and the income come from. It's from customers, right? And so we know that there's almost 5 billion internet users that's out there, right? And so 100 million is nothing, Frank. So definitely in the first 12 months, I foresee, think of Facebook. Facebook has over 3 billion when you combine WhatsApp and Instagram and so on. Under the Facebook umbrella, but there's no reason why Onpassive cannot receive at least 1 billion users. There's no reason for that not to happen. So I clearly see that happen in the near future as we proceed with the launch and so on, for sure. So if we just think about them, right, and I'll just touch on just a few, right? We know that e-learning platform, for example, that's a massive industry, projected to be over $350 billion by the year 2025. So what's going to happen, instead of people using like Udacity or Udemy, they're going to use Onpassive Academy, right? Instead of people using, a GoFundMe for crowdfunding, right? We know the large fees that they charge and so on, yet they make over $100 million per year in revenue, right? So instead of using GoFundMe, people will be able to use Bless powered by Onpassive, right? Zoom, we're on Zoom right now. We know if someone gets a Zoom account and they have 10,000 attendees, it's going to cost them, $6,500 US per month. Okay, that's a lot of money. And then if you go up even higher, it's going to cost you even more, right? And yet all these products, if somebody wants to have a bulk mailer, so somebody wants to mail out, 100,000 emails, they can't go to their Gmail account and do that. It's not going to happen, right? So you need a bulk mailer. So Onpassive has Post. So instead of people using a company like JMailer Pro, they'll be able to use Post, and the list goes on and on. URL shortener. They can use Trim instead of using Bitly or Blink, right? Those other companies, because just with a trim URL, okay, with Bitly, if you want a URL shortener, it can go up to $300 per month just to have a link shortener. So the costs, can add up real quickly for people who are actually using these tools on the internet. And so when we look at what Onpassive is provided, for just a few $100, right? So it starts with that. So the demand is going to be there, because if you can provide something, people with something that's more cost effective, naturally they're going to take a look, right? And when they see that it makes so much sense, they're going to become customers, right? And then from there, some of them will become resellers, right? So it's that part of it is a done deal, right? But as we look at it, though, Frank, we clearly see this is what's going to happen, okay? People, when we get to hard launch, so the full public launch, that's when people are going to purchase their product package. So they're getting all these products, right, for one low price, okay? And they pay that one time out of pocket. And so what happens next is that, remember now, the company's going to set you up with your unique domain name. The company's going to be driving the traffic. The company's going to be doing the presentation, the follow-up, closing the sale. Even the customer support, the company's doing all of that for you, okay? So it truly is 100% hands-free. But then what happens, though, is that as these sales starts to come in, okay, so that's how you're making money, because as soon as the sale is made, you get paid instantly. You're not going to wait for a week or a month or whatever. As soon as the sale is made, you get paid instantly. And so the company will provide you with 2 wallets. You have a funding wallet and you have a withdrawal wallet. So every dollar that comes in, okay, that you earn, okay, a portion goes into the funding wallet and the rest goes into your withdrawal wallet. Anything that goes in your withdrawal wallet is yours to take out, whether daily, weekly, monthly. There's no requirements to withdraw, none of that. whatever goes into your funding wallet, that now accumulates and then it pays the next month's subscription. Okay, so that's why we say it's one time out of pocket. Every month going forward, it's always coming out of your earnings. So if you make $500, they take out the amount for this month's subscription. If you make $1,000, same thing, right? So that will happen over and over again. You know, as I said, and as we move on in time, we will clearly see that, you know, now you have 3 customers, then you have 10 customers, then you have 20. It just continues to grow, right? And so that's what's going to happen for people. So when we say it's one time out of pocket, you pay one time as a founder, right, out of your pocket, and then you pay one time for your actual products, okay? That's it. Nothing else out of pocket. Everything else is going to be out of earnings. So it's a complete win-win for people. They don't have to worry about auto ship. You know, you've been in business, Frank, that, you know, where there's an auto ship, people paying $100 a month, $200 a month, whatever, right? And then you know that there's some people, they're going to look, okay, this month I didn't make no money. Should I pay my auto ship, or should I pay for my bill? Should I pay my phone bill? Should I pay my hydro bill? You know what I mean? So with this, you know, retention, we don't need to worry about retention. When people come into Onpassive and they realize what it's really about, they're not leaving. And so, you know, I'll tell folks that, you know, listen, what Onpassive has done in the past 2.5 years or so is nothing but remarkable, okay? Zoom took 4 years just to go to the marketplace with one product. Okay, Onpassive has 50 products. So it's like you're building 50 different companies at the same time, right? It's really what you have, because each product is standalone, okay? Yes, they're integrated within the one platform, right? But in actual fact, it's like having 50 different companies, you know, that we're going to have moving forward. But as we get into soft launch, and we are on the verge, we're talking weeks away, we're not months away. We're not 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months away. No, we're literally weeks away from soft launch, okay? So as we get into the soft launch, what's going to happen is that we're going to have access to, you know, maybe 4 or 5 products, okay? Some of them you've mentioned already, right? So we're going to have access to those immediately within the soft launch. And then throughout the soft launch, because soft launch will go for about 90 days or so. So throughout that process, you know, more products will get introduced into the back office that we'll be able to beta test, because this is where the founders come in. We are the beta testers. The tech staff, they're doing the alpha testing right now, okay? And as soon as that alpha testing is finished, then we move into beta, which is our soft launch, okay? At that point, the price is gonna increase. So instead of paying $97 coming in as a founder, people are gonna be paying, you know, probably closer to $200 during the soft launch, okay? And within that time frame, we'll also have the opportunity to generate some income as well, okay? And the company is going to be deploying its own campaigns during that time. So everything's going to be tested. You know, we have a wallet set up that will be able to, you know, basically generate some income in it so we can withdraw that money, right? So all that's going to happen for us in soft launch. So once the 90 days or so is up, then we go into the actual hard launch. You know, so we're not far away from that. A year from now, I am telling you, there's going to be so many people who's going to have their life changed just in the next 12 months alone. Never mind 2 years from now, 3 years, 5 years, right? I'm talking about just in the next 12 months alone, because some folks obviously are pre-building, right? It's because it's an option. You don't have to. The beauty about Onpassive, it says active or passive, you're going to win. So if you come in and want to keep this all to yourself, hey, that's fine. You're going to win because the company's going to do everything for you. But if you really get it, right? If you really get it and recognize what the potential is, why wouldn't you want to have, you know, 100 on your team by the time you get to launch? Why wouldn't you want to have 1,000 on your team, 10,000 on your team, and so on by the time you get to launch? You know, so that's always a challenge for people, because most people are not salespeople. You know, they can't sell, they don't want to sell. Sometimes you have to force them to sell, but it never works out, right? Because some, you know, and I would say a few, even a handful, really, that are actually good at sales, right? But most people, they're not. That's why it doesn't matter what the industry is when it comes to selling. You know, most people, you know, at a particular company, a particular job, you know, they always moving on to the next, because they don't last long in that industry, or when it comes to selling. You know, most people don't last long. With Onpassive, right? If people understand network marketing, if they understand that, yes, you know, I need to go sell products, I need to refer others, okay? As long as I keep doing that, I'm gonna make money, okay? So Onpassive is saying, yes, we understand that. So we are going to sell products, except you don't have to sell it, right? But we're gonna sell products though, right? The company's going to sell it, right? we're going to refer others. But guess what? You don't have to refer others because we're going to do it. So it's the same things are being done, the same actions. It's just instead of you doing it, the company says we're going to do it. So now the tables is turned. We don't work for the company. The company Onpassive actually works for us. That is completely different. That is a game changer, right? And so that's what people have to understand, that yes, products are involved. They're digital products, right? And a lot of these products people are actually using. People are using, people buy domain names. They go to GoDaddy, right? So they're buying domain name. People want to use a bulk mailer. They want to send out, hundreds, even millions of emails at a time. Guess what? They use a company like JMailer Pro. Okay, if they want autoresponders, there's GetResponse. So these are all products that are there in the marketplace. Onpassive is just taking it to another level. Onpassive is offering people an unlimited base based upon the products that they'll be utilizing. Onpassive is giving them something that's more cost effective. Onpassive is putting everything under one umbrella, right? So it's nothing new as far as, oh, I've never heard of that product before. I've never heard of that. No, taking what people are already using, which is brilliant because it means you have a ready available market. If people are using something already, it's not a huge transition to get them to switch from, say, using Zoom, for example, versus using Connect, right? People are already familiar using webinar platforms. Any meeting, GoToWebinar, right? Now you present them something that's more cost effective, better features, right? People are going to jump to that. Not everyone, but we're certainly going to get a good percentage, right? And that's all that's needed. Yeah. This year alone, 2021, there's going to be $4.9 trillion of sales on the internet. Okay, that's a lot of money. Okay, so we know that people are engaged on the internet. We know that there's almost 5 billion internet users. Okay, that's a lot of people. Right. So if Onpassive have 600,000, even 1 million customers, like what is that, right? What is that compared to billions, right, of individuals on the internet, right? So it's just a matter of supply and demand. Right? We know there's a demand for all these products because people are using them, right? We know, even a crowdfunding platform, right? Where we see that GoFundMe, they're making over $100 million a year in revenue, right? So it's a non-issue as far as the numbers, right? Onpassive can go up to, 1 billion, 2 billion individuals within the company. So we've basically barely scratched the scratch of the surface, right, of the potential of individuals coming into Onpassive as customers and or resellers, right? So the numbers is a non-factor, right? But one of them is certainly the fact that with these 600,000 plus that we have right now, that means when Onpassive opens its doors, it has at least 600,000 customers, right? That is massive, right? Which other company have actually opened their door and on day one, they have 600,000 customers, right? And so that's something that people don't realize. All these founders that we have and continue to grow, right? When we get there, when we get to hard launch, all these founders now become customers. It's just a beautiful way to do your business is that you're pre-building. So the same way we as individuals are pre-building our income for life, well, guess what Onpassive is doing? Onpassive is pre-building its customer base, right? So there is a demand just by having these 600,000. So to me, just when you just look at that, just that one point alone, people can see that it's already a success. It's already a success. If you're gonna have 600,000 customers spending anywhere from $100 up to $250 on day one, that's a lot of money. And that's just day one. But let's say worst case scenario, you actually get to hard launch and there is no money for whatever the reason may be, okay? Onpassive still gives you a time because Onpassive is about the people. This is a business built by the people for the people. It's that type of business that we're engaged in. So when you get there, and if it's not there, if the funds are not there, people will have enough time. The company will allow them time, to be able to come up with that, right, as needed. And there's so many different ways to help a person get to that figure, to be able to take care of that first initial subscription. There's lots of ways, such as, the overflow aspect of when we get there. If people see that, oh, wait a minute, as long as I make that first product purchase, oh, I'm going to make $500. You're going to find that 200 or 250 or whatever, you're going to find it from somewhere. It is possible that you can generate income from that. And then, of course, there's your own effort, right? And if you have a team, any team, whether it's 10, whether it's 1,000, it doesn't matter. If you have any type of a team, that also increases your probability of generating income during soft launch. So it's very, very possible for people to be able to walk away out of soft launch with at least enough to make that product package purchase. So if I get a customer today, I'm paid today. If I get a customer a week from now, I'm paid a week from now. It's instant, okay? So it goes instantly into our wallet, and which we'll have access to, again, right away. So we can withdraw daily, weekly, monthly. As long as sales are being generated, people are getting paid, right? The same time those sales are occurring. You're not a shareholder because Onpassive is not a public company. There will not be any IPO, initial public offering. It's a business. And so you're paying $97 to join that business as a founding member, okay? So so 10 years from now, you'll be able to tell your kids or grandkids or whomever, that yes, I was a founding member of Onpassive, right? This giant that is called Onpassive. Yeah, that was me, right? So that's what people are paying for. They're paying to be first in, be the early birds, right? And that in itself will come with benefits. People will be able to have extra advertising and marketing that they'll receive during soft launch and even after hard launch for an entire year, right? That benefit's worth more than $97, right? I understand the traffic industry. I used to spend over $30,000 per month just on traffic alone. So the advertising and marketing that people are getting, just take that $97 and just know that it was well spent just for that alone. And then, of course, by getting in early, by getting in as a founder, you have the ability to pre-build your team, to pre-build your customer base, right? So you have that ability, and then, of course, you're ahead of all the millions of customers that will be coming, right? So all these benefits you're getting for that $97. And some people even look at it as, okay, just add it to my product package and look at it as a deposit, on my product package purchase, because it's only the one time out of pocket. So it's money well spent, right? It's money well spent, and it's setting you up, it's setting you up for success for life, right? And then with regards to, making money, as I said before, if people understand, the power of duplication and the power of leverage, you put those two things together, okay? And you're basically setting yourself up for exponential growth in your income. Right. So any number that someone can realistically imagine, income-wise, right? Realistically imagine now. Don't tell me you want to make $1 trillion, okay? Or I had a guy, I think it was yesterday, he wants to make billions upon billions. Okay, I'm saying a realistic number, okay? So any number that a person can think of, they can make it within Onpassive, right? If someone is used to making $40,000 a year, they can make that in Onpassive. If someone is used to making $2,000 a year, they can make that in Onpassive. So I can easily tell someone that you can replace your full-time income with Onpassive, right? And instead of working, 40 hours a week, for 365 days a year, or however many days a year they may work, the point is you'll be making money while you are sleeping with Onpassive. That's a massive difference. So that means while I'm sleeping, I'm making money. While I'm awake, I'm making money without me having. We know that there's a lot of need that's out there in the marketplace. And so Mr. Mafar created Onpassive to help people generate wealth. He wants people to be wealthy. Why? So that they can take care of themselves and their family and use the excess, because there will be excess. Use that excess to go bless the lives of people around the world, right? By supporting these causes. Right, so we know that is a big driving power for him, right, and the company is to try and do that. I'm not going to say they're going to eradicate poverty. I don't believe that will be the case, but it certainly can make a dent in that gap, closing that poverty gap, right? And I think if you create the right mindset in all the founders that we have, then we're certainly much closer to achieving that goal. More cost effective, it's truly a winner. There's no doubt about that. And this company will create, I would say more millionaires than any other company, period, in the marketplace. So I look forward to seeing how it's going to transform so many people's lives.